أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, oh dear viewers, and welcome to another episode on the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On today's episode, we are going to discuss about the marriage of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the noble lady called Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. And anyone who know about that topic know that it is a topic that is very delicate, and of course there are agreements somewhere and disagreements in some other narrations. To help me and you understand this topic today, I have in the studio with me on my immediate right Ustaz Almami Balajo, and on his right we have Brother Said Sambaso, both of whom are familiar faces on this program. Gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Ustaz Almami Balajo, as I have just said, that the life and as well the marriage of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a bone of contention there. Her age at the time she was marrying the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people have said a lot about that, both Muslims and non-Muslims. You have it in the ahadith, you have it in the history books. You know, everyone have their own narration of the thing. But tell us, what age was Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha according to our own analysis of the history books? What age was she when she was married to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Jazakumullah ahsan al-jaza for having me here once again. Like you just mentioned, this topic is also one of the delicate topic with regard to the age of the Ummul Mu'minin, Hazrat Ummul Mu'minin, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. To determine his age as to when she got married to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then subsequently when has he moved on to perform her into her matrimonial home, or to go into her matrimonial home. History tells us that some of the history said that the marriage was solemnized when she was at 6. Again, some said 7. And another place also, some will tell you that it is more or less between 6 and 9. You understand? But what history, another point which is very important, in order to determine her age as to when she moved to the house of the Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you need to make some kind of calculation as to when she was given birth to, when was she born. Then when you are able to determine that, and that determination, there's only one narration which shows to us that Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, it came in a hadith that كانت عائشة ولدت سنة الرابعة من نبوة في أولها. He said the 4th year after the call to prophethood, Hazrat Aisha was born. The 4th year after the call to prophethood, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha was born. Now they moved to Medina 5 years afterwards. 5 years afterwards, you plus it to the 4 years, is going to be nothing less than 9 or so. You understand? Because monthly, sometimes they will not count the remaining months of the year, they won't count that, only the approximate years they will count. And it came in another hadith that Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha will say that I was married in the year of 9 years, but not remembering that at some point in time, when the first initiation was tried, it was 7 years or less than 7 years, 6 years and some months. So those months which were left for the 7 years to be completed, it is possible that she has not counted those months. Again, it's also possible that the narration is correct, but the calculation in her own thinking may be the mistaken somehow. We cannot say that the narration is false here and there. Even some has got up to the point that the narration are not right. Also, there are some other people who also say that in order to compromise the matter of the age age issue of Hazrat Aisha, they said, no, 9 years is so little or is so small. They did their own calculation to 14 or 15 or 16. They said that is the actual age when the Hazrat Aisha got married to Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam finally, when she went to the matrimonial home. But still, it is categorically written in the hadith that after 5 years, now if you plot that 5 years to the call of the Prophet to the birth of the Hazrat Aisha, it will give you 9 years. However, after that 9 years, then again 2 years plus, 2 years and some months plus, that was the actual time when she was accompanied to the matrimonial house of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So you can see that going to the house of her husband, who is the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, she has reached up to the age of 12 years or less than 12 years or somehow 12 years above. So around 12 to 13 years. That one is amicably agreed upon by a lot of scholars. So we can confidently say that at least at the age of 12 or little beyond that, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anhu has gotten finally married to the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Another point I missed to mention it is also in our tradition that even in the Gambia or subcontinent around us here, at some early age, you can tie your daughter's hand for your nephew or somebody else to be later on married to. It is not out of normality. It is not out of abnormality. It is normal that people do that one and still being practiced. But it does not mean that at that younger age she has gotten into the house of her husband. You're already there. She was already there to be taken care of by her father. Again, to point out another thing, it was her father himself who approached the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for the final, how do you call it? I don't know which word I will use. Is it the wedding or nikah ceremony, walima to be performed, sort of. Then she was adorned by Ansari ladies, then accompanied from the house of her father to the house of her husband, who is the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself.
Thank you very much, Ustaz Alman Balajo. And sometimes the people who make these allegations, pointing accusative fingers to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, are mostly people who do not know the tradition and the culture of the Arab people. And they do not know, maybe even as well, their tradition and culture, what was being practiced, what their great-grandfathers have practiced before them. And in most cases as well, we are using our today's laws and against those that were there against the tradition and culture of a people who lived 1,400 years ago. So we see the time was not the same. The people were not the same. Even the intellect was not the same. These are Arabs who are a people who hated the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to such an extent that they wanted to kill him. That's why he left his hometown. If that was something that was abnormal in that society, then they would have been the first people to point it out. But you will not see in any Arab literature, like for example, those who were the enemies of the Prophet ﷺ at the time, who would say, he have done a wrong thing, so let's capitalize on this and spoil his name or this or that. But because it was accepted by both Muslims and enemies of the Muslims, it means it was a thing that was accepted at that time. So in most of the cases, when you are looking at an incident, I think it's better, those who are making those allegations, they should look at it through the lenses of that time and not through the lenses and laws and traditions that we made for ourselves in this time, because it's totally different. Brother Said Sambaso, having said that, let's look at why Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anhu was the choice for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because we see that when he was with his first wife, he was married only to her for so many years before prophethood and some years after prophethood before he migrated to Medina. And when that lady passed away, that is Hazrat Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam should have married, but why Aisha was the choice?
Zakumullah, thank you very much. Just like to add on what Ustaz Balajo was talking about, I think you have mentioned a very important point here. That is, those people who were not, who were always looking at weaknesses in the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, could not have accused him of doing something abnormality. And that is a very important point, because those people did not give any single opportunity to the Holy Prophet in any single mistake that he could have done that was wrong. They could have said it.
Yeah,
They were the people who
later
supposed,
on,
in fact,
even we would see that even this particular lady, people will accuse her of committing something that she has never committed.
Exactly.
This lady, that is the incident that
Aisha
is referred to in the Holy Quran as ifk, that is the great calumny. She was accused of committing adultery, and she was then married to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if their marriage was an issue in the Arab custom and their tradition, they would have quickly capitalized on that.
Exactly. So the other thing also, like what is important in this matter, I think, is about maturity. Because when you look, if Aisha was not matured, I don't think, Ustaz Balaji has already mentioned it, it was in fact the very father of Aisha radiallahu anha who approached the Holy Prophet telling him that I think it is now time for the marriage to take place. So if Aisha was not matured, I don't think whether Abu Bakr would have done that, because he would have seen that like he's trying to maybe give he tax to the Holy Prophet by giving him a small girl who is not matured. And also looking at, it is recorded that Kaula bint Hakim was also another individual lady who also suggested the very same thing to the Holy Prophet that Aisha is the very suitable individual whom you can marry. And also the most important thing about that, it is in fact Allah the Almighty direction was also issued to the Holy Prophet. It is recorded that he saw an angel appear to him, gave him a silk of cloth, and when he opened it and he saw the name of Aisha, which exactly indicate that Aisha is supposed to be the one that you are going to marry to. And there are also a lot of wisdom behind that. It could be one of them, like Aisha, at that time she was very young. And we know that the Holy Prophet Muhammad is given a great text, and that text have to be conveyed to the entire nation. So he should not be the only one to be a role model, but even the family, the wife, also have to be a role model to other women.
For other women.
So that could only be possible if he have a wife whom you know that is expected to live maybe longer and is expected to grab a lot of things, like her intelligence, like her understanding. All those things should be intact so that he can able to capture a lot of things, so that he can able to convey it to other people. And it is recorded Aisha was very intelligent, her memory was remarkable, so that fit her to be the wife of a Prophet Muhammad. And also other thing, like you said, she was born a Muslim and she was brought up in an Islamic manner, so there is not going to be a lot of challenges for her to understand about the Islamic teaching. So that is a smooth way that was paved for him to grab. And also we see that Hazrat Abu Bakr, everyone here knows that Abu Bakr was the best friend of the Holy Prophet, and this has been manifested in different ways. So that also could have led to that. And also we have seen that she was young and she was expected to learn quickly and very easily. So these are some of the wisdom behind why Aisha was the most suitable individual that the Prophet Muhammad can marry, so that they can both be a role model to the universe.
Thank you very much, Brother Said Sambaso. I think with regard to her knowledge, that is the most important. aspect of the whole thing, because the Prophet ﷺ was given a book and was given a law that he should have explained to the people through his words and his actions. And if he have a wife who would be very close to him and attached to him to an extent that it would be like a second Muhammad, the Prophet ﷺ, when he passed away and this lady survived him, so you would see that she will not only be a role model to only the women, even the men will want to know, what the life of the Prophet ﷺ was. And that is what happened when the Prophet ﷺ passed away. You see, some Sahabas will come to her and say, what was the life of the Prophet ﷺ like? And she would always give a reply that, what was his attitude like? Some Sahabas will ask her, and she would reply that, Kana khuluquhu al-Quran. And that means his entire behavior was an interpretation of the verses of the Holy Quran. So in other words, if you want to know Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, go back to your Holy Quran and read it, and you will see him. Everything that is commanded there is what he has adopted and just made his life around the Holy Quran. And as well, there's this Sahaba called Urwa bin Zubair. He said something incredible about this lady, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, and I would just want to read it to show that this intention of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which was coupled with a divine instruction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, was well fulfilled in the person of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. This Urwa bin Zubair, he said, in knowledge of the Holy Quran, in knowledge of the law of inheritance, in knowledge of law and lawful and unlawful things, in the science of jurisprudence, in poetry, in medicine, in knowledge of the narrations of Arabia, and in the science of genealogy, I have not seen a greater scholar than Aisha. So it was not only the field of religion, this is what God says, this is what he said we should do, and this is what he said we should avoid, but even in the narrations of Arabia, the history of Arabia, that is what it's referring to, about genealogy of the people of Arabia, about science. There was no field that you will ask Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha and she will not give you a definite answer. So this just shows that the Sahabas themselves appreciated the knowledge of Hazrat Aisha, and it was on both sides, the male as well as the female. So Ustaz Alman Balajo, let's talk about the virtue of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. We have talked about her age, we have talked about her knowledge and why she was a choice, divine instruction coupled with, Hazrat Abu Bakr being a friend of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the like. But let's talk about her virtue. What did Hazrat Aisha herself mean to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Okay, that one also is very interesting. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she has absorbed almost everything which Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to bring. Everything of what the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to teach the mankind, she has absorbed almost everything. So much so that even before the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, he will say, learn the part of your faith, or learn the part of the religion from Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha. He himself have confirmed to us that he is confident that after his demise, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha will be imparting so much, plenty of knowledge in a lot of areas, which will benefit to the community of the Muslim and the whole world at large. As the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is so much attached to charitability, is so much charitable, the same way Hazrat Aisha herself used to be. Sometimes it came in an hadith that she will sometimes give in charity 100,000 dirham in a single day. When she is being given as a gift before the sunset, she will dash out everything to the needy before the sunset. And this is what the Holy Prophet ﷺ even used to do, understand? And with regard to her knowledge also is so much interesting. She will always give out knowledge and then she will be bringing people, attaching people to her, and then training them with regard to the instruction of the Quran and the Hadith, sort of like you just mentioned when the Sahaba was mentioning about her remarkable intelligence in all the spheres of the human development as such, and the religious side as well. She was so remarkable in all those spheres. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, the virtues which she was having, like I said, it is innumerable. You cannot count them. Charitable, and then she is so modest, and then also so respectful, because sometimes it comes also in one place also, and the modesty is also, like I've mentioned, is always obedient to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She always inquisitive to learn much more things. At times, Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will even accompany her to certain scenarios which she will like to witness. It come in hadith that once when there was a swordman, they were displaying some acrobatic. Yes. So Holy Prophet saw the interest of Hazrat Aisha, then he screened her from the general masses. When they call the people who come around Masjid Nabawi, then they will do their display, while Hazrat Aisha was behind her, seeing what is happening behind him. Thank you very much. Behind him. So you can see that the excellency, and then in whatever quality Hazrat Aisha was having, it was Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam who taught her all these activity, all these attributes. So she was the right choice for the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to marry at that point in time. Again, before we go off the program, I want to show to the people that marriage was solemnized, but in Islam, a dowry has to be paid. And that dowry, it was fixed for 500 dirham, right?
500, 400.
500 to 400 dinar.
Generations varies.
You understand? Your generation varies. But as per that time, it is a valuable one for that matter, you understand? So, to show to the people that you can have an agreement with a particular girl or a particular woman before even the final paying of dowry is fixed. So when the dowry was fixed for her, then after that she was accompanied to the house of her husband, sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And as you mentioned, that even in our traditions in Africa, Arabs are not the only ones who practice this. Until today, it is practiced in Africa. Like you can be given a girl at birth. The parents can say, this is your wife, we give you this girl. When she grow up, she would be your wife. And they will try as much as possible to honor that word. And they will always whisper it into this girl's mind that, you know, this guy would be your husband. This guy is your husband to be. And that can continue until the girl grow up. Even when the girl grow up, in some cases when she is even married to you and brought to your home, she is still going to stay in your mother's house, you the husband, in your mother's house for 1 year or 2 years, or they can keep her until she matured. So we see that marriage in our tradition and the Arab tradition as well, it wasn't only for pleasure or a matrimonial thing that stopped between only the husband and the wife. This was a family issue.
So I think that a lot of things have been manipulated in Islam by the later generation, when things have become, the light of the Holy Prophet ﷺ began to fade away from the mind of the Muslim. Then everyone began to bring his own idea. And then now in this intellectual age, they want to use science to verify everything. This is science proof, this is science proof, that one. But before then there was a science, the creator of the science was there. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is being taught science is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If it is inaccurate for a particular girl to get married at that age, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wouldn't have done advice or even approved that to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is proven that girls from 11 years, some girls from 11 years, they experience the senses of womanhoodness in them. From 11 years, 12 years above, even at this in our age. So those countries which are hotter or colder in climate, they're experiencing this. What about those who are in the hot climate, eating spicy food? Then their psyche and then their physical development will quickly and rapidly get to maturity. So there is no point of objection in this matter.
Yeah.
Only those who can object to it, they just having their motive behind this, just to try to tarnish the image of Islam by pointing the finger to the founder of Islam.
Exactly. Or rather, as well, they would be as well ignorant of the tradition of the people. And just yesterday I was watching this documentary where I saw this girl who claimed when she was 11 years old, she was pregnant, I think twice, and she gave birth to children. And until the moment that documentary was being shot, she was perfectly healthy.
Even without being operated on?
Yeah, even without any operation, she was perfectly healthy. So that's just went further to show that even in our today's world, such things can happen, and the girls will still be healthy. Although in those days the tradition demands maybe in some circumstances that the girl, even after marriage, will not live with you as the husband. She may live with your mom or another relative until she is matured, and then she will be sent. Your parents will even request her now that she is matured that she should go to your house.
Just this one, even Ustaz Bola just said this, like in those hotter areas where those people consume a lot of spices, it is being researched on that those people, they get matured very early. And in fact, research has shown that like places like India, those people at the age of 10, some of the girls they get matured and they are at the age of marriage. Much more Arabia, which is in fact hotter than India. You understand? So these are all evidence that shows that Aisha was matured at the time she was being married.
She was married to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Thank you very much, Brother Said Sambaso and Ustaz Almami Balajo. Viewers, this is all time allowed us. We were today talking about the marriage of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his beloved wife, that is Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. And we have given our reasons of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam marrying Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, and as well we have given as well our analysis according to the history book that is written by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat. According to that history book, the life and character of the seal of prophets, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha was about 12 years when he got married to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But there are some other scholars as well and historians who put her age between 13 to 16 years when she was married to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But whatever be the case, Allah knows best. But what is established is that was not a thing that was abnormal at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because if it was, his enemies who did not waste any opportunity in attacking the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have been the first to point out that mistake in their tradition and culture. But I would like to close the program with a quotation from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whenever he was asked about role models, he would say that there are about 3 people, and that is number 1, Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh, and Mary, the daughter of Imran and the mother of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. And he continued by saying, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha possesses such superiority over the women as tharid, which is among the best foods of Arabia, possess over other foods. This is just time allowed us, and if you want to know more or read more about the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and as well find out the truth in this debatable topic that is about the marriage of Hazrat Aisha to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you can visit our website, that is www.alislam.org, and you will have enough material to read on this topic. Until we come your way next time from us MTA International Gambia Studios, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Salli ala mubinina, salli ala Muhammadin, salli ala nabiyyina. صل على محمد